folks. It is going to be an action-packed League of Legends Week 3 stream. We have two of the baddest in our division going head-to-head tonight. That is right, two teams at 2-0. Clay, how about you introduce our two schools that are playing tonight?
All right, we got Apple Valley, who we saw last week on the stream, and now SJP, and they're both looking very strong right now. Obviously, very strong showing from Apple Valley against Rogers last week, and SJP also 2-0. So like you said, they're two of the top teams. And what was it, SJP runner-up last season? You said
Correct.
so.
Second place finish last season.
Gonna be a very close match. We're hoping. See the Twitch chat, lots of votes coming in. So yeah, see what happens.
Absolutely. And I mean, we've talked about it. We've gone back and forth. You know, people were asking us, what are we thinking on this stream? What are we thinking for a prediction? And I really, you know, I might have predicted in chat, but I really think that this is as tight of a series as we are going to have, folks. It's really hard to call. My only thing that I called was I think it's going to go 3 games. I think that both of these teams are elite. Comparatively across the board, there's no real weak link that sticks out or a soft spot, right? These teams are battle gear ready. They are, I mean, two of the best teams. I mean, we've said it, right? Two of the best teams, both 2-0, have not lost through preseason either. So, like, really putting it on the line here, right? Trying to take that number 1 spot in the league. And I think both of these teams have a very good opportunity to do so, folks. We got the pro draft started ahead of time, so I don't think that we should have too many issues. Fingers crossed, lads. Okay, fingers crossed. But
for a good show.
You know, yeah. Perfect. That is the news we wanted to hear. We will be getting into draft shortly. I mean, I'll put you on the spot. You know, you and I did split the deck in terms of which way we were leaning. I want to ask you, what led you to lean the way of Apple Valley?
Oh, going into draft.
Here we go.
All right, well, we'll have to save that thought here as we jump into
we'll
draft.
save it. I do not tolerate Blitzcranker getting his main taken away. No surprise there. I mean, if they saw what Blitzcranker did last week, I would be banning it too.
Yeah, the Echo now taken away from Beffin. Obviously, we saw a great showing. I believe he played it last week, but he also talked about playing it. Oriana going away from DJ EJ. Little Mr. Chair action there, but he's not in this game, so we won't mention it. So, a bit of a split focus here. Still some mid lane. There's a Nocturne coming out now from the side of
the
SJP.
Spooky ban.
Very on theme.
He's way too scary for what today is.
It's just
the whole thing. I mean, I'll be honest. I've got the Ghost Nocturne skin too. The Haunted Nocturne or whatever, where he's just wearing the sheet. That is a goated skin. Getting the Halloween vibes. If anybody has Halloween skins, they should be wearing them today. You know what I mean? Like Pumpkin and Moo. What else do we got? We got a lot of them, man. There's a lot of Halloween style skins. Up to Challenger going to pick the Janna off rip. On the opposite side, Apple Valley going for a beefy front line off the get-go. They go the Toad and the Bear. Tom Kench and Volibear getting locked in. And I mean, that's a heck of a front line to open things up.
Absolutely. A lot of safety there, too,
Valley.
with Tom Kench. The ability to support there. Maokai now, so a tree coming out. We'll see what Beffin picks up here. The Fizz. So, looking for the side of Apple Valley, it looks like a zoo over there right now. But, you know,
they love their animals on that side. Beffin
they definitely do.
Back for the Fizz. Okay, we saw that Fizz last week and was one of the biggest highlights. So, going back to the well for the Fizz. Lysandra ban here in phase 2 set taken away by the side of SJP. And SJP is a team that has always had a very strong top laner. Up to Challenger, very solid player. They really like to save and give counter pick to Challenger when they can. So no surprise seeing that top lane pick. Well, it could be Maokai, but Maokai's flexible, right? Can go a few different lanes.
For sure.
Usually more of a carry style player. So could be Maokai in the jungle with whoever else could be coming out in these last few picks. Syndra picked up for DJ EJ, and Ornn most likely going to be going to the top lane. Maokai in the jungle, and Blitzcranker getting champion with the Nautilus. That's a scary bot lane, and that's a bot lane that we've seen before, if you want me to be honest. They put in work with the Nautilus Tristana last week in game number 1.
Absolutely. Going back here.
Coming on back to whatever my name is. I mean, I haven't thought of the king name. I was gonna say Jarvan the fifth, but you know that's actually Ambition's
uh,
son's name, so that I can't go stealing that poor child's name.
definitely.
I'll just be the king of MNVL. We can call it as it is, you know. And then
That's
we got
right.
Surfer Bro, Summerman. I
I was
liked
gonna
what Fever
say.
said. He said the Will Prog cosplay, and I'll be honest. When your camera originally came on, I thought it was Prog. I was like, dude, he looks exactly like our social media guy.
Yeah,
Like it's criminal.
we just
But
switched
I mean, I dig
bodies.
the look. Don't get me wrong. I dig the look.
Yeah,
We're doing good stuff over here on the cast today. Ready to go. So based
yeah.
on draft, let's talk about draft a little bit. We have basically a mirror match in top and jungle with super tanky, super CC driven champions with the Orn Maokai on one side and the Tom Kench Foley Bear. I mean, it's like the wet noodle contest up there. Not a ton of
Exactly.
damage, but boy, are they going to take a beating.
For sure. Probably not going to see a lot of focus up there from either junglers. And if even if SJP wanted more AP damage, they could have Maokai go for the AP build, but with the Syndra pick, likely not going to go for that. Of course, Apple Valley, we expect them to play a bit more aggressive, especially in that bot lane with the Nautilus pick and the Tristana. We've seen Blitzcranker do that. So could definitely see a lead for Apple Valley down there, and then maybe some jungle focus from SJP over there to try and, quell that storm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, man. We got a short little duration of our spectator delay just so all of our players can get in, get that 3 minute buffer window. But man, oh man, this is going to be action packed. We've seen both of these teams be dominant from start to finish throughout their games. I did a little bit of watching of SJP's last matchup against Washington. They did a great job in that series and were able to close out in dominant fashion as per usual. Apple Valley, we saw tear it up on stream last week. And I mean, let's go back to where we were at before we went into Champ Select. I want to know why you lean the way of Apple Valley. I'm putting you on the spot here, Clay.
I just I have to lean the way of Blitzcranker and Beffin. They're such a power. They're not even a duo, but they function as a duo because Blitzcranker is constantly roaming on his aggressive hook picks, and then Beffin is also playing aggressive. We see him on the Fizz today. We saw him on the Fizz last week. He's gonna be jumping on you. He's gonna be diving on you. He's laning into a Syndra as well.
Yeah,
So only the Scatter the Weak is going to really be able to protect her against the Fizz. Also, with the Playful Trickster, lots of survivability on that Fizz. He has such an ability to carry, and then you can back that up with calls carrying because Blitzcranker is going to be able to get that early laning advantage. And then the consistency of Dagadas, it seems hard to vote against them.
I like that. That's a very good breakdown of that squad. And I mean, I can just give a brief rundown. SJP, I had to lean defending second place squad, right? They came home with the medal last season, all returning players for their rosters. So they have that play and experience under their belts. And frankly, the team play and the macro play that I see from SJP often outweighs the individual skill and talent that I see across other teams. So SJP, where they might not be the highest ranked team, they really put in the practice, they put in the time and determination to be a better team. And I think team play is really what separates good teams from great teams in League of Legends. So only time will tell. This one, I'm just hoping for 3 games, man. I'm hoping for three
Yeah,
games. I want us to go the distance. Both these squads are unbelievable. Both squads are super talented. Okay, no disrespect to either squad. Either one of these schools can win. It's very hard to predict between these two teams today, but if I had to put money on a team, I would lean the way of St. John's Prep for today's game. I just think that they've been there. They've played in the grand finals. They played up against one of the best teams in the country in Minnetonka's roster last season. And they had a pretty close series. So overall,
they
I
did.
think SJP is going to have what it takes today. But Blitzcranker and Beffin are menaces. We saw them light it up last week. You're not wrong. This game, this series can go either way. Clay, do you have any final thoughts before we load into this one?
Don't think you had to restate your SJP vote. How many channel points did you put on them on the in the Twitch chat?
Let's
What
not.
was it?
We don't need to. That's not the highlight that we need to get into, right? Just a light 20K. Just a light 20K.
Light
I didn't go
20K,
my.
yeah.
I didn't go my normal. Normally I bake out. My goodness, break out the bank account for my channel point bets, but I'm not as confident because I think either one of these teams can win. Both these schools are really good. Both of these teams are really good, and I've seen very good play from both sides. I mean, I was going back and forth, man. I wasn't like 100% confident, but I'm leaning with experience because experience usually means that you come more prepared for those closer matchups, right? Apple Valley, frankly, knew they were going to take Rogers last week. We talked about it. They 2-0'd them in the preseason. This is the unknown taking on a squad like SJP that is also at your 2-0 level. So it really is going to be the tightest matchup we've had throughout the season yet, folks. So grab your snacks right now. Grab your drink because you're not going to want to miss any of the action as we load into it right now for Halloween edition, Week 3, League of Legends.
Let's go. Time to get into this. All right, we're seeing a 3-man up here at the top. Side of Zesty. Gonna check that bush. Gonna spot out DJ EJ there. Or at least that's what it looks like. Just gonna leash here. I get a leash here from Nagadas. Pretty chill early game play, other than what we saw last week. But yeah, just gonna look through the early game here. Pretty relaxed. Gonna take a look at runes here, see if there's anything funky. Don't really think so. This looks pretty normal to me, but I guess the PTA volley, a bit different there. Could be a bit more damage build, but unlikely with the tank focus they have on that top side.
Nice 5-man spread across. Nice jungle leash going in the top side. Maokai opting to start on the Raptors. So junglers will be clearing opposite pathing, which could cause problems for the bot side of SJP, meaning Bully Bear going to be down on that end of the map. And Maokai clearing up to Challenger in the top side. So interesting when junglers are clearing on opposite paths, not as likely to have those jungle run-ins between, well, both of our junglers.
Yeah, absolutely, Skep. And it probably wouldn't be too exciting. Volley and a Maokai matchup just kind of be whacking at each other for a little bit. And again, this goes back to what I said about calls and Blitzcranker being able to play forward. And if they're going to get that jungle advantage and that jungle health, it's going to be even easier if they get that. But yeah, Smurf Chum, side of SJP, probably going to have to put some emphasis on there because the tank matchup at top, not going to get any focus. Saint Sleepy. Saw him show up 2 weeks ago, actually, taking 45% damage for that game. But, yeah, gonna have to show up here at Apple Valley, see if they can remain undefeated.
Very, very normal start to this game of League. We've seen quite a lot of action, which is, I think, given an unrealistic expectation for some of our viewers based on how many kills have been going down in the early game. But you can see up to, or not, Zesty actually clearing towards the bot side right now in bottom river. No sign of going in yet, but SJP bot lane has to be on high alert here.
Absolutely. Now, looks like he's going to take the Scuttle Crab. That's not good. And just move up with not the Scuttle Crab, but the Grom. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I'm just a jungler. I should know this stuff. Anyways, like you said, pretty normal matchup. Pretty normal start to this game. I've seen craziness. I mean, even my expectations. Blitzcranker landing the hook, landing the roof with a great
nice
tornado. Calls, trying to get some damage onto Saint Sleepy.
Good recall!
He's gonna get focused. The heal. Can he live? He jumps away. Blitzcranker now stuck in a 1v2, trying to get some damage down, but I don't think he's gonna have it. Another tornado. Saint Sleepy trying to push up. He's gonna hook away.
And I mean, that's just the twin synergy in the bot lane come through. Zesty now pulling up on DJ EJ. Ignite goes down. Maokai showing up late to the party. Ball flash from FaZe. Beffin in trouble. First flood the way of the Maokai. SJP punch back in the mid lane.
Absolutely. We just saw 2 huge advantages, of course. SJP getting that kill onto Beffin, knock up now onto Dagadas, up the Challenger. And Apple Valley's getting pushed in top. They just got the kill in mid. They got the push there and the force out in bot. SJP pulling out some early game advantages here as we already see a 1.3k gold lead going over. Also, you can look at the CS. Massive CS advantage in bot lane, especially mid lane, also a lead for SJP. Top lane, another lead.
Yeah, that was a huge start for this one. SJP winning across the board. They go out huge in that duo bot lane trade. But she's on a W in as we see it back into the fray.
Knight is taking out a Bear Bear.
In trouble.
She's rooted down again. Looks like they're gonna get out though.
Man, not a second to breathe in that bot lane. Was going to say how good that Nado was on that first disengage, right? Completely knocking Tristana out of her W jump and stuffing the Nautilus on the hook drag entry. That second time not going their way, and Apple Valley's bot lane getting the better out of this trade. Dagadas has to be careful in this top lane though, Clay, as he is quite low. Ornn, where he may be a tank, he also has the qualities of an assassin and a warrior and a mage and whatever else on the planet Ornn wants to be, because he's just the GOAT.
Absolutely,
Skep. Waiting patiently.
Yeah, Ornn is the GOAT of it all. Do it all, jack of all trades, and right now SJP looks like the jack of all trades. Even though Apple Valley does trade the dragon back, now the ult coming out from up to challenger. Dagadas gonna flash. Oh, he's gonna flash it up to challenger. The Q, not quite enough damage. Take down Dagadas, but now a hook coming out on St. Sleepy. Root lands, calls, not quite there yet. Oh, fantastic pullback on the feathers from St. Sleepy to end that attack.
Warwick is next to my house right now going absolutely crazy. If Twitch chat can hear that, let me know because I will close the window. Warwick is going nuts right now.
Well, there's no Warwick in this game though. So
yeah, no Warwick in the game.
Scared. Spooky cast today, spooky things happening around Skep's house. The gold lead also growing a little bit for SJP up to 1.4. Yeah, Apple Valley getting a little down with that dragon. We kind of had to brush over with all the action happening here. But another thing to highlight with the action, look at all the flashes that are down. Who still has them up? Looks like Bear on the side of SJP and then the bot lane for Apple Valley. So that is a slight advantage they have on St. Sleepy, as St. Sleepy can't necessarily just flash a hook, flash a root, flash any engage from the side of Apple Valley. So definitely an advantage there for them.
Very true, good point. Now, bot lane for the side of St. John's Prep going to have to be a little bit more cautious for the next few minutes as they wait on that crucial cooldown to reset. Dagadas and up to challenger trading out as per usual in the top lane. Two tanks doing their thing, right? Trying to scale up, trying to get minions, smacking each other around while they can.
Yeah. Yep. Shield, they're getting highlighted for a second. Item highlights there, but yeah, you see now that especially that CS lead in bot lane growing now for the side of SJP, St. Sleepy, and Bear. Top lane evening out a bit. Tom Kench being able to buy the Giant's Belt, and up to challenger buying the was that Bomby Cinder. Been able to get a little bit more damage there. Now the bot lane of SJP pushing up to Apple Valley, just trying to work this wave to their advantage. SD is on the bot side though, so they have to be careful of any re-engage. Smurf Chum's there just to support. Very good play from SJP.
Blitzcranker looking for a hook, not going to land it. Scout of the week will land on the Beffin, trying to trade back on the DJ EJ. Good damage from the Syndra and good range control coming out from SJP's mid laner. Dagadas goes for the ultimate onto Ornn. Calling in the Ram.
Knock him up.
Dagadas is so tanky on this Tom Kench. Up to challenger, got to be careful.
Oh, wow. He's barely going to squeak out.
That was scary. I mean, playing it to the wire.
Yeah, very bad 1v1 to lose. Massive advantage could go over to the side of Apple Valley there. Kind of hoping for a kill there.
Coming out.
Ooh.
EJ in trouble.
SD is here.
Good play, good gank setup from Apple Valley. Now engaged
knock
on
up.
the top side.
Unstoppable. He missed the unstoppable though.
Challenger!
Looking to trade back.
That's a misplay coming out for the side of St. John's Prep, and just like that, kill lead back in favor of Apple Valley. Still not a gold lead, but a couple crucial kills to pick up for the side of ABHS.
For sure. Good to highlight that they may have a kill lead, but not the gold lead, especially that bot lane CS advantage and the mid lane CS advantage. Another thing we got to highlight is Flash is now down on DJ EJ. Down earlier a little bit. Oh, look, landing onto St. Sleepy. The ult, pull back onto Call. Calls, now one tap, gonna jump out, gonna barely live. Blitzcranker walking under the turret. Apple Valley's bot lane is getting shoved out at every moment, Step. This is nuts.
This is...
Oh.
I mean, this is one good hook from Blitzcranker. This is that one thing we were talking about, how dominant the bot lane has been for Apple Valley. Now my question is, playing up against this bot lane, I mean, the twin powerhouse duo, right? Like, you're meeting a tough bot lane. These two have been playing together for quite some time. Synergy since birth, folks. You can't beat that. I mean, come on.
No, you can. Apple Valley controlling the neutral objective though. Already picked up the first herald and the first dragon. Second dragon's fine in just about 20 seconds. Like two just moving down to the bot side there. But on the top side, the challenger is picking up the turret plate. Splash is going to almost be back up. Dagados is low, so if you play there, it looks like the Smurf from recalling. Not going to try and go for anything crazy. Don't really want to see the Ornn dive. Might not go well.
Yeah, I mean, he's got ultimate coming back up soon. And he's going to get munched up by Tahm Kench for now. Nice duck back out of tower range. Now ultimate coming through. Tahm Kench could be in trouble. A nice flash from Call of the Forge God. Up to Challenger, not satisfied with playing it safe, and now he's in trouble. Caught behind enemy lines. Beffin showing up.
Over the wall.
And this is a dead Ornn. This is a dead Ornn.
Flash. He's under turret. Beffin's going to pick it up. Looking out, landing onto St. Sleepy. Flash out. Open with the tornado. Gonna just get out. Paul's now getting chugged low, being able to jump out. But now SJP once again has advantage in this bot lane matchup.
Good hook.
Another hook going on to Bear. Calls here. Now it looks like
Maokai coming
that
to the party.
Smurf jump coming down.
No flash.
Yup, coming out.
Blitzcranker in trouble. Flash is out as well. Both flashes down the way of the Apple Valley bot lane. SJP putting in some work down here.
Sure. SD can't even get in here. Blitzcranker's pull himself away. Tons of gold, tons of turret plates now going to go over to the side of SJP's bot. And they have that 40 CS advantage from the Xayah versus the Tristana. So that's where we're seeing the biggest advantage for SJP in this game. There's a little trade coming up between Zesty and Smurf Jump. Smurf Jump has full advantage. He's not going to walk under the lane. So yeah, SJP pulling ahead in this early game. But of course, Apple Valley got those neutral objectives. So maybe could play for a dragon stacking. But with how far ahead SJP's bot lane is, it's going to be a little hard to get focused on. There could need some good play from Zesty, and maybe a little bit more focus on Beffin.
Smurfs just farming up here in the bot side. Gold lead still favoring the blue squad. SJP up a bit. Ooh, nice knockup from Tahm Kench. Dagadas, good trade going down onto the Ornn so far.
Got the full stacks. Ooh,
good sidestep.
Flash.
Another knockup.
W coming back up though. Stacks are going down.
Ultimate available, and up to Challenger is not respecting this Tahm Kench in the slightest. And he is getting punished.
Yeah, Skip.
I mean, enough is enough at this point. Like, you got to cut your losses. You got to start to respect your opponent. 2 solo kills now. Going over the way of Dagadas. Stepping up when they needed him the most, right? Bot lane struggling for the side of ABHS. Dagadas stepping up big to the play and really starting to get something back the way of Apple Valley.
Absolutely. 0-3-0. Up to Challenger on SJP. And Dagadas up to 0 now. Zesty flashing in onto DJ EJ. DJ EJ can counter with the Scatter of the Weak and his own flash. Now that flash is down though, so definitely a advantage there. And Apple Valley might be able to look for another dive. Rift Herald. There. Hook landing onto Bear. Trying to get it down.
Dead.
Out.
Dead.
Falls now onto St. Sleepy. Ult coming out. And the Dagadas. Now we're going to trade back Zesty. So 2 for 1 on the side of Apple Valley so far in this fight around the dragon.
Very good fighting, good skirmish coming through from the Apple Valley forces, but now losing out in plates in the top lane. And the big thing to highlight, gold lead still in favor of St. John's Prep. So kills going the way of Apple Valley, yes, but macro-wise, minimap-wise, right now, Towers CS numbers taking a beating for the way of AVHS.
For sure, but that gold lead has shrunk from what we saw earlier, and also Apple Valley was unable to pick up the dragon there. They can't stack much quicker there. Zesty is here. He's just gonna emote. And it's close.
He's gonna run for a bit, but he's still gonna die. Like, he's done, so.
Yeah.
Off game coming through for the St. John's Prep top laner.
For sure.
Not really respecting the opposition enough.
Oh. Not entirely sure
Cranker's
what
alone, though.
doing.
This is not, not the fight that you
SJP.
want. St. Sleepy almost able to take him down.
SJP.
Dragon will be picked up by SJP. Not bad.
Ooh, another hook. Trying to get some damage onto St. Sleepy. Unthreated Ignite is ticking.
Well.
That's just... Oh,
what are you doing,
goodness.
St. Sleepy? Oh my goodness, that was a toss. I mean, I just gotta say it. That was a bit of a toss. Was gonna get away with his life, instead decides to auto under turret range, and he pays the ultimate price.
Yeah, must have thought he was out
of
range
there. Now that gold
there.
lead's gone. That gold lead
Yeah.
is gone. Back completely even. Slight gold advantage the way of Apple Valley.
Yeah, it is on just a little bit of Apple Valley. And I just gotta say, Blitzcranker kind of knows his limits here. Agadas, he might not, as he's jumping in onto two of them, but he has backup. With Zesty, gonna land the stun on the Smurf jump. The ult coming out now, up to Challenger, joining the fight. Zesty, massive ult from that. Ooh, Smurf jump getting low. Huge CC from the Ornn. And Apple Valley is forced to run. They're trying to get out. They're jumping under the map. Looks like they will get out. Kill them.
Back and forth fighting, non-stop action. I mean, this is kind of what we talked about, kind of what we were expecting. And somehow that gold lead going back in the way of SJP, where they aren't winning in the fight/skirmishes, they really are taking advantage with the CS lead and tower plates, right? Like they have definitely gotten their gold from that. Towers are quite low as well. They took top lane turret. EJ gonna fall back, avoiding the Nautilus hook.
Blitzcranker though, he's itching for another good one. He's itching for another kill. I just gotta say, he's so fun to watch. We all love watching hook champs. We all love watching players that can move well, and Blitzcranker encompasses both of those, even just in his name, in his essence. He is a hook champ player. He is aggressive. He will engage for you, and he will, most of the time, take a good fight, and most of the time be able to help win it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Always fun to see those engaged style champions in the bot lane. See what our support players have been cooking up now. Up to Challenger, trading back in the top lane with Dagadas again. Dagadas up to a 3-0-1 start on this Tom Kench, doing great work in the top lane.
For sure, Skep. Dagadas going to be that big power point for the side of Apple Valley, as the bot lane had a little bit of suffering there in the early game. But Tom Kench isn't a tank, so he's not necessarily a carry, but I've seen many Tom Kenches be able to just kind of take over games with how much they just won't die. And now we're going to have to see how that translates into the later stages of the game. This gold now, still over to SJP a little bit, but it's kind of in the middle of the pack right now. But big thing to highlight is the neutral objectives are now even. SJP getting one Cloud Dragon, Apple Valley, one Infernal, both each having one Rift Herald. SJP is up a full turret in Apple Valley as a hook. Now going on to EJ. But Smurf jumps here with the ult. Force him out. Blitzcranker rooted up. Probably going to take some damage here. Going to get knocked back into EJ. Going to take a lot more. Going to pull himself out. Calls is here to try and support. And that fantastic buster shot to get them out. EJ also spent the flash there. So.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Now bot lane getting pushed in really hard here, Clay. Rift Herald gonna get called in. Ultimate burned onto Tristana, falling very low on HP. Turret gonna go down for tier 2. St. John's Prep starting to run down this bot lane. That's been forced to rotate over and help out now. This is almost an inherited turret going down.
Yeah, with that first Herald charge. Looks like Dagadas is going to pick up a turret on the top side of the Apple Valley. Also now, pushing on up the Challenger. No kills, right? But it's been the story so far. Solo kills in the top lane. It was close. Not quite. So now, Ping is coming out onto the Baron side of Dagadas. Side of Apple Valley. Just looking over there. It's 20 minutes spawning. Massive neutral objective. Any team that picks that up going to get a huge advantage, going to be able to push, going to be able to focus on winning the game. I'd still say it's a little less important than the Elder, just because the Elder can absolutely flip a game. The Baron can only sometimes flip a game. But who knows? We'll have to see which objective is focused coming into the late game. If we even get to Elder. We have a pretty slow Drake focus here for the game, so who knows, Skip.
Yeah, 2 dragons at the 20-minute mark. Usually we're getting close to around 3 dragons taken, but you know, I think I'd rather have a little more controlled style, slower paced game, right? Working towards fights on item spikes, etc., right? So both teams playing a lot more strategically than maybe what we've seen in streams past, but very razor tight game. I mean, gold lead very marginal at this point, and now we look for a potential fight in bottom side river here.
Oh, here we go.
This could crack open with the bang. Zesty in trouble.
Zesty. He's totally stunned up. He's going to use the ult. He's going to have to flash out. Now the ult coming out from his first jump. Calls is focused. Calls is down. DJ EJ on a killing spree. Up to Challenger is just tanking all this damage. Dagadas, he can't do that much. Beckman taken down as well. Dagadas going down. A shutdown over to the Zaya. Blitzcranker, the only one to not die. 4 kills for nothing for the side of SJP.
Yeah, that's when the Mayday sirens start to ring and the ship is starting to sink. A clean 4-0 wipe in that team fight, transitioning into a Dragon plus mid-tower take. St. John's Prep stepping up huge in the bottom lane fight, or bottom river fight, excuse me.
Close enough. Same general area. Yeah. SJP, that was a huge fight. The game now massively swinging. We're seeing 4K plus gold lead. Dragon lead now. They got 2. Looks like it's going to be a Chemtech Soul. So we already knew that, but whatever. They also picked up 4 turrets. That's another big part of their earlier gold lead versus Apple Valley's 1. And what we saw there was it seemed Calls might have been out of position, or he might not have known the position of DJ EJ or Smurfchum. Especially when Smurfchum sent that ult out, then you're just kind of getting split up. So SJP, with that huge ult from Smurfchum, they kind of split up Apple Valley, sending Nagaras, Zesty down. Bot side, of course, Zesty flashed early, and Calls being caught out on the top side, being able to burst down by DJ, EJ, and Saint Sleep.
And now Apple Valley in a tough spot. How do they answer? How do they respond and get back into this? Trying to pressure mid lane themselves, grouping up. Not a bad idea, not a bad start. Baron Nashor still on the table. Zesty, a little bit of an invade. Might have bit off more than he could chew. Volibear forced the ultimate out. Beffin goes in for the one-shot on Bear. And now fight going back the way of Apple Valley. But wait, hold that thought. SJP turning on its head.
Where are you going? Double kill for the side of Saint Sleepy. Agadas, I don't know what he thought he was going in for there. And Blitzcranker just got killed by, I believe it was DJ EJ in the mid lane there. So Beffin going for a bit of a Hail Mary play. He did get the 1 kill on the Bear, and then he got traded back, and then he got traded for 2 more. And that's kind of just how it's been for this SJP Apple Valley match. SJP being able to find more advantages, even though Apple Valley has found some. And now SJP, they're killing the Baron. Zesty not going to be able to get into lane, and he's just going to get killed. SJP now picking up the Baron. Huge advantage for them. And they're probably looking to close out this game within the next few minutes.
Yeah, that might be the floodgates getting opened up. Baron buff acquired. SJP now starting to roll over the map here with the macro play, transitioning up to top side, looking to take that tier 2 turret. And now up to Challenger, looking to put in some split push work. And SJP, really, I mean, for where they struggled in the early game, they kept it razor close enough to where one fight is all they really needed to turn this one back on its head and get back into the driver's seat here, Clay.
For sure, Skep. 9k gold lead, almost for the side of SJP. Huge advantages over there. Their carries are up more. Saint Sleepy on 2 items. The Calls 1. Probably getting close to that soon. But he's down so much. Yes, he's down 70. He just has a lack of gold. 0 kills. DJ EJ as well. 2.5 items. Probably going into that Rabbiton's next. Beffin does have it too. But Beffin, honestly, his team hasn't been able to give him much of an angle to really get key assassinations on the side of SJP. They've just been a little uncoordinated in that, especially that big team fight we saw. And map movements have been okay. But That's kind of just how it's going. SJP's been playing the map. Apple Valley's been playing the lanes. It's not going to work out for Apple Valley.
Game not done yet. Apple Valley still could fight back into it, but now in a bit of a harder spot, right? Like it just item advantage in the way of SJP, level advantage in favor of SJP as well. It's going to be on Apple Valley to force some kind of odd numbered fight, some kind of, they got to pick somebody off. They got to stack the deck in their favor a little bit here, Playmate, because right now SJP getting the better of the big grouped up fights.
Yeah, Apple Valley gonna have to find a way in, and they do have objective bounties up. So that could be one way, but if SJP decides to contest even one of those, it's gonna be hard for Apple Valley to win a fight. Mr. Challenger, some damage here. Here as well. Yeah, he's gonna
Flash got missed, and he's gonna die for that. I mean, there's the pick I just was asking for. So they do that. They go up. They continue to bully up to Challenger, pushing up a little bit too far. Not enough vision coverage to protect himself. So he will bite the bullet in that end. Now SJP sights set on the fourth dragon of this one as they look to eye up this Chemtech dragon towards bot side.
Up to Challenger will not be there for the dragon fight if it starts right away. But also, it looks like Apple Valley is not going to show up right away either. They're going to have to try and find a way to play into this river. Probably going to see 5v4 here. Apple Valley, man advantage. Dagados, ult coming up from Smurf Chomp. Zesty going in, but he's getting bursted.
Oh, my goodness!
Griffin is down! Blitzcranker going in with Dagados, but they're not doing any damage. DJ EJ a double.
That damage was illegal, Playmate. I mean, did you see those feathers absolutely eviscerate the two targets that jumped up first? I love the idea for the engage. However, you didn't get onto the carries for St. John's Prep. Syndra and Zaya are both free firing, and boy, oh boy, that is a recipe for disaster, Clay.
Calls now. Gonna have to try and do a hero 1v4. The death timer's not too bad. So the game probably won't end here. I highly doubt it unless Apple Valley tries to take the fight, but I don't even know why they would with how far they are down in this game. They're going to have to find some crazy way. Definitely a Baron take, or maybe even an Elder take, as now SJP has gotten the Dragons close to the soul. They're on soul point for that Chemtech, but I don't know if Apple Valley can last that long in this game. They're also down 11,000 gold. And you did mention the way earlier pick on up the Challenger, but I would much rather have a pick onto the Syndra with a 700 gold bounty now. So definitely going to have to focus onto the carries there for their picks. Now Saint Sleepy getting jumped on by Dagnos. He's going to get picked up, but up to Challenger is here. I don't even think he can do this. Oh, Beffin now coming in with calls. They're trying to focus on Saint Sleepy, but up to Challenger.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's rough.
And that the CC has been played to perfection from the St. John's Prep side. They keep putting these kills on a platter, and Saint Sleepy is ripping them apart.
Absolutely, yeah. I know Apple Valley's mascot is an eagle, but they're getting taken down by the bird champion right now. Stacks on up and down. Gonna knock up Dagados. Now Saint Sleepy, that damage is far too much to do onto a tank now. Little scrap here from Jump Zesty, just gonna walk out. But SJP walking onto those Nexus turrets. They're getting some damage. They're going to take down one. They're going to take down two. Did they? Hold on. Can we get camera over there? I think they're going to do it. Yeah. They're going to take down Apple Valley here. Calls. Just jumping in for another kill. DJ EJ. Legendary. SJP is also legendary in their Game 1 win over Apple Valley.
Man, oh man. I mean, a tight early game, very close back and forth, but like through the middle parts of that game, St. John's Prep really showed their team prowess. The macro play was on point. They gained control of wherever they really wanted to control, right? It seemed like St. John's Prep did not lose anything after they won that big fight in the bottom half of the river. Clay, your thoughts on game number one?
I think it all started in the early game, as all league games do, but the advantage for SJP absolutely started in that early game. We saw push coming out. The only lane that was really properly contested was top lane, with Dagados and up to Challenger Dagados being able to pick up some huge early game solo kills there. So a little bit of advantage to Apple Valley, but he is a tank. He is not a carry. He's not going to do damage, and he has to be a properly effective tank, you have to be protecting your carries in team fights. And Apple Valley couldn't really start good team fights. So they couldn't find that proper way to use where their gold had ended up, if that made sense, to win against SJP.
Yeah. I think that Apple Valley definitely shined when they were finding pick plays, right? Those little short picks, they were definitely having the advantages in those states. However, the team fighting is really where they were missing. I think it came down to target selection and kind of where they were pouring in their CC and their engage. Not getting onto those carries was the death of them. Saint Sleepy and Syndra putting up some disgusting damage in that first game, folks. We are going to take a short break. When we come back, we will be getting things in order for game number 2. So don't go anywhere. More action between St. John's Prep and Apple Valley on the flip side.
Coming in and actually seeing all the computers filled with kids and they have on their jerseys and they got their coaches next to them. And I see direct parallels over to football.
There's just not a lot of knowledge about gamers out there. People just don't know what they don't know.
They have to develop teamwork like any other physical game does. You don't have the teamwork, you don't win.
You take a kid who never had confidence before and you give them confidence and you can see what they can do with their lives.
What does it mean to be a leader? At the University of North Dakota, we're here to find out.
It's taking my first solo flight.
Finding new ways to learn.
Rolling up your sleeve.
The world deserves leaders like you. Leaders ready to take the next step and make a difference. Because we lead our own way.
Knowing that Limit's going to come in here, short play. The chair!
Push, but oh my goodness. What? Okay, 2, 3. Oh, my God!
Goals feel. Jonah's going to be able to just float one in here.
Window pop, it's not going to be Ketsui finding anything here. Now into the cage we go.
Burnsville coming out on top, 2-1 lead, and it's a clean 2-0 double kill for the set.
You know that moment when the world goes quiet? When the static in your ears and the skitter of your pulse fall away, and for a moment, you feel ready. More than that, you feel sure. At UW River Falls, we know the feeling well, because when the world goes quiet and you step boldly into the moment, that's when you know you're a Falcon. That's when you know you're limitless.
Here at Concordia St. Paul, you will have the opportunity to earn a degree, make lifelong friendships, and play a game you love on an esports scholarship. For more information, visit csp.edu/esports.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just concluded our first match of the evening between Apple Valley and St. John's Prep. St. John's Prep getting the better out of Apple Valley in game number 1, but overall a pretty tight matchup, right? We can't complain. I know it was a fun one to cast back and forth, and not much more you can ask for, right, Clay?
Absolutely. As us, the casters, we just want the exciting games. We're definitely not too worried about who wins and channel points. We wouldn't even think about that. It's definitely hasn't come up on stream today. It's Halloween stream.
100%.
Spooky stuff going
100%.
on. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, those kind of shenanigans would never come out of our mouths. I mean, well said. Well said. I'll give you a little from the king to yours truly. Now, I want to give a second to give a big shout out to our 6 premier collegiate sponsors, folks. We just had the B-roll run-in showing you their 6 campuses, their esports facilities, right? If you have been thinking about your next steps, whether that's schooling, whether that's chasing a career in esports, these 6 colleges are a step above the rest. There's a reason that they sponsored MNVL. They know that we got the best to offer at the high school level, and they want you guys to apply, right? They want you, okay? There's a reason they sponsored MNVL. They know we're the best, and they want nothing but the best, right? So make sure you give those 6 colleges a look-see down below. Big old pictures of their logo. It's very hard to miss, okay? I made sure. I checked it myself, so I wouldn't be saying it's hard to miss. All right, so let's go. Make sure you go check them out. So big thank you to our 6 premier collegiate sponsors. Now, back to the action at hand. Pro Draft was taking place while we were on the break screen. And if you had to make changes to the Apple Valley comp, I'm going to ask you what changes you would make and why.
If I had to make changes, I don't know. The Volibear pick, it didn't feel like it was too effective. Maybe it was just Zesty's play of it and his movements or whatever, but I didn't hate their comp. I just felt that they get pushed out by SJP and they never got a chance to shine with their comp because, of course, Blitzcranker can land a hook. He can land the ult. Calls can jump in on top of you with Dagadas coming in from the below the map. And then, of course, Zesty can jump in with the ult, and he can disable turrets with that. So he can get some good dive there, good engage. They had engage, but they didn't have a chance to use it. So that's what I'm saying.
I'd agree. I think we've seen, the Volibear did good stuff. He helped out top lane a lot, right? Dagadas got a few kills in the early game because of it. But overall, it felt like when that Volibear would engage, he would kind of get chopped up pretty quickly, right? Like the tankiness wasn't really where it needed to be. That Maokai was doing a lot more soaking damage on that front line, staying in it, being a nuisance, right? So maybe a little bit heavier on the tank side for jungle, maybe a little bit more on the playmaking side. Volibear feels like he's that hybrid in between, right? Not as much damage, not as tanky, but kind of a little bit of both. So we'll have to see what Apple Valley has to offer moving into game number 2. If I had to give one piece of advice for AVHS, it would be you can't play to that top side. I mean, we talked about it, right? Getting an advantage in that tank v tank matchup only goes so far, right? Because your gold, if it's not on your carries, you're missing the big damage, right? We saw the damage coming from Xayah. We saw the damage coming from DJ EJ on the Syndra in mid lane, and it's because they got the kills. They got the gold to put them in that situation to take over the game. So for Apple Valley, you got to play to your strengths. Your strengths were around Beffin, and your strengths were around that bot lane when the bot lane was popping off. So if you can get one of those 2 lanes rolling, I'd think that Apple Valley could have some better chance of success here in game number 2.
All right.
Sounds good. We will be rolling into Champion Select in a few moments. Clay May, any final thoughts before we do that?
Apple Valley's got to keep it together in the gameplay and in their heads. They can't let that get to them because they had good moments in that match. It wasn't an absolute stomp. So they just have to remember that and know that they just got to play their game the way that they're going to play it and hope that SJP cannot get around that and work around that and be able to counter that at every step of the game. Here we go.
Sounds good. Champion Select loading on in, folks. Game number 2 between 2 of the best that MNVL has to offer. St. John's Prep in Apple Valley. A tight first matchup. both of these teams playing to keep that undefeated record alive here, Clay May, and back-to-back with some similar bans that we saw in game number 1.
For sure. Also, the teams switching sides now. Apple Valley on the blue side and SJP on the red side. But the exact same bans, I believe, from SJP, the Blitzcrank, the Echo, the Nocturne, getting out a lot of that dive. And of course, you have to ban Blitzcrank against Blitzcranker. Now, Shen, bit of an interesting pick there. Zalt does have a lot of utility, a lot of cross map, basically a free teleport, free saving your carries. Udyr, side of SJP.
Moo pick.
Spooky.
Yeah, he's got to have that pumpkin skin. That thing going for the Yasuo?
Vex?
That might be the scariest pick that I think we've ever seen.
Yeah, going into the Vex here.
Goodness.
Halloween all across the rift. Game 2. Another set ban. Exact same bans for SJP. I believe it was the set last game. We'll see what Apple Valley decides to go with here. Definitely switching it up, though. Didn't see any of these last game. For the side of SJP, and the Maokai Syndra ban coming out for against DJ EJ. Saw him pop off on that last game. Huge damage, like we mentioned. I don't think they want to have to go through that again. Not going to be pleasant.
There's a lot of CC that I'm seeing on the side of SJP off the rip here. Udyr possessing a lot of that. Maokai, right? We saw it last game. Vex also having some CC. The Garen ban to close that one out.
Yeah. Yasuo gonna have a rough time in lane against the Vex with the CC. I definitely understand how our passive works. Yeah.
I've got a problem with the Apple Valley comp, and it's one knock-up, and it's besides Yasuo, right? You only have Thresh Fly or Thresh Hook as your other knock-up, right? Nobody else having ability to knock up and set Yasuo up. So gonna have to be off the back of himself, right? Those NATO's gonna have to be on point, or I mean, Thresh is gonna have to hit it like a flash 4-man flay if they want to really combine that. And then SJP going back for the same bot lane that they had in the game prior, that Xayah Janna, and I thought that they did pretty solid overall, right? The twin bot lane duo doing some work with that, really denying engages with the Janna Tornadoes. It looked nice. Other than that, pretty similar comp for the way of SJP, keeping things simple, keeping things back to kind of how it was in game number 1. This time, though, up to Challenger having a little bit more of a like split pushable carry style champion. Like Udyr top can mess people up, man. I've seen it do some work. So I want to kind of know how you're feeling based on this new draft for Apple Valley.
I want to go back to an early thing you said about them not having the knockups. What we're going to have to see is Beffin be able to shine as a solo carry and be able to find those windows for himself and for his team. He's going to have to get onto the carries. He's going to have to do what we saw last week on the Fizz and the Echo. Now, Yasuo, a bit similar, but Yasuo, unlike Fizz and Echo, does not really have an escape method. That's what makes Yasuo either go 10-0 or 0-10 in any game. And for Apple Valley, they're hoping he can go 10-0 here.
Yeah, Apple Valley pouring their eggs into the Yasuo basket. It's either going to be a spooky scoreline. I mean, either way, it's going to be a spooky scoreline, okay? He's either going to be hard carrying the game or he's going to be, feeding the rest of the squad. Like, it's a hit or miss, right? It's a hit or miss with Yasuo, double-edged sword. I mean, we all know as League fans what Yasuo brings to the table. He's sick. Yes, we all love him, but there's very fine line on how to play the Yasuo, and it takes an elite level player to really make it shine. So Beffin, the pressure will be on. He has shined across the board on these melee style of solo laners, but in that last game, DJ EJ did get the better of him in that ranged versus melee matchup. And now we have it again, right? Vex, ranged, Yasuo, that solo melee up close kind of, AD style champion. So it's like we're kind of going into a very similar matchup that we just saw. Can Beffin improve on what we just saw in last game? We know he says he's highlighted for that Echo and that Fizz. We haven't really heard much about this Yasuo. So, but you got to assume that he can play it at a similar level to the Echo or the Fizz.
Absolutely. We're also going to have to see good decision making from Dagras on that Shen, because the ultimate great utility there. You can just jump in on someone with effectively a teleport and just save them. Big shield, save a carry. So gonna have to see some good coordination there for the top lane and the under the carries of Apple Valley. Yeah,
Absolutely. Man, you know, game 3 is still a possibility. We're going to have to see
definitely.
a monster performance from Beffin. We're going to have to see the bot lane step up as well. Bear and Saint Sleepy getting the better of Blitzcranker and Qualls in that first matchup. And Blitzcranker's a competitor, right? We know that they're going to be coming back with a vengeance. I can't even remember what's the support that we got to round out that composition. I know we got Caitlyn for Qualls. Oh, Thresh. The Flay. Yep.
Yeah,
okay, so Hook champion. Okay. So we're still in that department.
He's
all right.
On theme.
Yeah, he's keeping it classy, keeping it, the usual for Mr. Blitzcranker. Pulling up, and the king sees that. He respects it, all right? A little handshake, firm handshake for Blitzcranker, staying true to his name. Folks, grab your snacks. I've said it once, I've said it twice. This is an action-packed game. There was action, besides the first 2.5 minutes, action the whole game, right? We're going back and forth, summoner spells being just blown left and right. I mean, there was only 2 flashes available like 4 minutes into the game. So like these teams are coming out for blood, and I wouldn't want it any other way on this Halloween edition stream. We're going to be getting into the action momentarily. Clay May, if you had to put out one rule that Apple Valley must follow to get this W, what would it be and why?
Use the Shen. You got to use that level 6. You got to use that teleport. It's going to be surprising. It's like a shock factor. It's just like, oh crap, he's got a 600 health shield now. What am I going to do while you're pretty much diving under turret? So
absolutely
gonna have to going in now. Gonna have to
Alrighty.
see if they can do it.
Yep. Clay May looking for that Shen level 6 power spike. We are getting into things, and Apple Valley going for an invade in the top side. Up to Challenger, a little bit lazy on the 5-point setup, and now this could cause problems. Apple Valley are going to be able to sneak into the backlines with no idea from SJP, and they're going to walk right up on this Maokai if they keep pathing this way. Beffin's going to spot him, and the rest of the team's going to rotate over. Guys, right here. Look at this. Smurf jump. The hook is not going to land. Oh, boy, that's a blunder.
Blitzcranker.
You can't say that every day of the week. Blitzcranker just not patient enough on that hook. That was a first blood waiting for the side of Apple Valley. Uh-oh.
Up to Challenger. He's walking into 3 of them. Got it. The stun from Zesty. He's trying to walk it out. He's going to get stunned again from the recast. Ignite is ticking on him. Not
going to do it.
Though.
If Shen scaled taunt, that is a dead Udyr, folks. PSA from Skeptor. You never scale an ability on the invade. You scale what you need for whatever the situation brings. If Shen had taunt right there, that is a first blood the way of Apple Valley. If Blitzcranker hits that hook, first blood for Apple Valley. So, 2 key misplays off the rip here for AVHS. Granted, they get the Udyr Ghost, but it's at the cost of Yasuo's Ignite and a Mumu starting Q for jungle clear.
Oh, that is rough.
Yep.
I haven't been there myself, but it doesn't sound pleasant.
Ooh, nice hook.
Now. Going
Flash immediately.
Wow. Playing forward for Apple Valley. That was a much better hook than we saw earlier. So 1-1 on good hooks for Blitzcranker. Seeing him.
It's just rare to say that he has a bad hook. He's normally on the money, and that one he's going to wish he had back,
For sure. 1-1 Apple Valley, hoping to get the 1-1 scoreline in this best of 3 series. But definitely another slightly chill start. That was some excitement there, but it didn't result in any kills. So gonna end up very similar to the first game we saw. Just kind of relaxing, just some trading back and forth. Agadas is getting quite low here, up to Challenger. Get pushed out a little bit here, but it should be fine in this matchup. Gotta catch the wave anyways. Ooh.
Yeah, and Udyr's a really good lane bully now. Like this new Udyr rework, his Phoenix stance is nuts in the top lane.
Sure.
Always able to pump out damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Dagadas getting pushed under turret. Gonna have to be able to hit this wave without taking it. Up to Challenger. for a recall here. Might not get it. Dagadas probably looking to cancel. There it is, but he's diving in. He's going to get a good taunt up to Challenger, taking some damage. He's trading back. Going to Turris. He's not going for it. Now, a little bit of trade in the mid lane. Shield from the Vex. Going to deny pretty much any damage from Beffin, and he's just going to get chunked lower and lower. And that's the matchup we wanted to highlight, was if Beffin is going to be able to shine on this Yasuo to get enough resources to take over the game, even against the Vex and DJ EJ. Probably going to have to take it back here. He has no mana.
And up to Challenger, going right back to where he left off in game number 1, pressuring at the tower, trying to be up close and personal with Dagadas, letting him know that he is not going to shy away from any kind of fight. Blitzcranker now running up, looking for the engage.
Where's our camera going?
Plus hook. Bear.
Oh, calls.
Staying alive. Qualls stepping up 2 forward.
Down.
Saint Sleepy, one more auto should do it. The flash out from Qualls going to save his life.
Just barely surviving.
Okay, forgive me if I'm wrong here, but an interesting keystone selection for the Caitlyn going first strike. I don't think we see that every day of the week unless I'm old and I'm trolling and I'm out of date with the meta. I mean, it seems like it can be okay, but I just feel like, I don't know. We'll leave it at that.
Caitlyn. We'll see that now. Both summoner spells.
Oh, lethality Caitlyn is a build. You're right. That would make sense if you're going the lethality route. Lethality route with first strike makes sense. But if it's like normal Caitlyn build, then I would not opt for that. I'd think something along the lines of like a lethal tempo, even fleet footwork, man. Caitlyn's elusive. She's long range, so that extra little bit of move speed after an auto, like, she's just slippery. She's harder to deal with.
Absolutely.
But we'll have to keep our eyes peeled.
Well, my eyes are
that first item buy has me thinking that it's going to be a static Shiv start too for Caitlyn.
Yeah, really a bit of a different build here. Caitlyn, static Shiv, coming a little bit out of the meta. It's still kind of broken. Nobody wants to really admit it right now. But also, I've noticed both summoner spells out for Caitlyn, so definitely going to be vulnerable there. But Saint Sleepy also spent their flash, so vulnerability there. So both junglers could be expecting to path towards bot side. Looks like they're both top right now, though. He's focusing onto the Rift Herald Spine, a couple finishes on their camp done. The dragon is up on the bot side, so you would expect to see a bot side focus if teams want to focus that objective. Who knows?
My 2 key things to point so far through this game number 2 is the gold lead well in favor of SJP simply due to farming and their CS numbers, right? All across the board ahead. And the other thing I want to point out is, what was it? Don't tell me I forgot it. Don't tell me I forgot it.
Whoa.
Oh, boy. Oh, Shen hitting level 6. Shen hitting level 6.
There it is.
Okay? Yep, Shen level 6 is online. So if Shen can get back to base and they can aim for a bot lane play with the Shen ultimate, that would be Apple Valley trying to utilize their power spike, right? Because it's online.
Yeah. That would be what
the Shen level 6 cross map play is what we are all looking for when Shen steps onto that server, giving the top lane advantage as he's got that global presence where Udyr not going to be able to match or do the same.
Definitely not. Udyr going to be able to carry a bit more solo focus, and a bit more solo oriented, and have that damage himself. Shen, not really any damage in that kit, but you never know. Orange ring start challenge. I noticed that. EP focus, not tank focus or anything. So a bit weaker front line we saw in the first game. For the side of SJP, Apple Valley got plenty with the Shen, the Amumu. Yeah, have to see when they decide to unleash that Shen ultimate.
You go, Blitzcranker walking up, gonna hook onto Janna. Caitlyn trying to trade back, but Zayat putting down some good damage.
Yeah, pull back, not gonna find any roots or anything there. Just a bit of damage. But that was a bit of a reverse from what we saw in the first game, where SJP's bot lane getting pushed out as opposed to Apple Valley's, and that's kind of a bit of advantage you get with the Caitlyn range. But definitely even a chiller game now, 0 kills at 8 minutes. Nobody's really found the advantage, but SJP has found the advantage with the gold lead, their 1.2k lead opening up solely off of the farm. Big 30 CS lead almost top lane for up to Challenger. Big 20 CS lead almost mid lane for DJ EJ. also a lead for St. Sleepy. So SJP really controlling these early lanes, being able to exert the pressure where they want to. Now, going in, St. Sleepy has the flash, has the ult.
Oh, good root onto the Caitlyn.
E away.
St. Sleepy
comes in. There it is. He's coming for it. He's coming to save. He's going to flash. He's going to taunt onto Bear. Blitzcranker also flashing in. Going to land another hook onto Bear. Going to get taken down. First blood inside of Apple Valley. But Zesty, it's immediately traded back. 1 for 1. Beffin now
walking up
for
as
a long
well.
time. To take some bad damage here. Not going to go down though. He's got plenty of mobility and the wind wall. Very much excitement.
Obviously, I mean, you know, gotta admit it and gotta say it right here, right now. SJP completely forgetting about the Shen factor, flashing forward aggressively and immediately being like, oh goodness, I forgot about your ultimate, Shen. It's a Shen party in the bot lane. Apple Valley get the advantage. They find the first blood, but immediately traded back towards the top half of the map as DJ EJ picks up Zesty Demon King, and he's got the pumpkin headed movement skin, so shout out to him.
Yeah, he's on team. Jump though. Up over there.
Uh-oh.
Trade's coming out. Beffin now coming in.
Does
have a flash, but he's not going to get quite to the wall.
Wait a second.
First kill. That's huge for Yasuo. He's got some resources now. He could be able to look for more. Zesty's going to walk into him. He's going to get stumped up. Phoenix is going to flash out. Dagadas is here. Beffin is here. EJ landing on Dagadas. Now Beffin is trying to live through this Udyr Phoenix Storm with EJ on the back. Dagadas land more taunts. Coming in. Up the challenger is running in.
Challenger's gotta be
running
careful.
in. Health bars are low.
Oh boy.
EJ taking down Dagadas. But Zesty also going down. EJ. And
Oh
it's going to be a triple.
goodness.
EJ.
Well played. The stopwatch coming through. Nicely played. Up to challenger in DJ EJ showing their solo lane prowess. Absolutely dominating and picking up for where SJP was faltering in the bottom half of the map. Big boy plays from DJ EJ. Stepping up big on the Vex.
For sure. Saw this last game. Crazy damage from the Syndra. He's 4-0 now. 10 minutes in. He's seen some just as big damage here. Dagadas landing a taunt. The challenger, why are you staying here, man? You're trying to run away.
Yeah,
no chase yet. No flash on Dagadas. Could he get out?
Should be okay.
Crazy
Should be out. Yasuo is not going to get over here in time. Should be okay. But up to challenger really trying to push the limit at like every possible chance he gets. He's trying to push the limit.
For sure. Definitely knows the limits of Udyr as a champion. Playing top. Udyr has the demonic embrace now. So definitely some very high damage for him. Also boots of swiftness. So lots of movement speed there. He's got mobility. He's got damage. He's got AoE with the Phoenix. He's got all. Udyr does a lot. Not something I think about too much, but Udyr has a lot of stuff to do in his kit.
Yeah, their rework, they did him solid, man. Because for too long, that dude was way too useless. Like, yeah. I don't know. The rework's dope. I approve.
Yeah, it is. I also do have the ultimate skin for Udyr. Got that from a random drop.
Same.
So I played a lot of Udyr when they first reworked.
I mean, up to Challenger was repping the ultimate skin right now, too.
Oh, yeah, he is. Didn't even notice that.
Yep.
Focused on his fantastic
you can
play
see
aim.
Skin evolves as Udyr upgrades his abilities, turns more and more into the animal that he is representing in that form. Hold that thought, Zesty. Chains on in Vex, in trouble. Shutdown available. Can they get it? It is Zesty who picks up that shutdown bounty. A big kill the way of Apple Valley.
Definitely there. That's what we've been looking to hook. Play. The ult, he's stuck in the box, and Calls is just free firing, but he didn't even focus him for some of those. The Ignite's going to take him down. Blitzcranker is going to pick up the kill. Same scoreline for both of the bot lanes on Apple Valley as they move on the Hexatech Dragon, pick up the first dragon of the game. 13 minutes in, a bit late here. Smurf Chump is showing up as well as St. Sleepy, picking up some fruit. Smurf Chump sending out the ult on his own. Calls is here. The stun lands on the Smurf Chump. The Ignite is taking on to him. He's going to flash into the pit. He's going to steal the Drake, and DJ EJ coming in now with the ult.
Oh no!
Kill onto Beffin. Paul's going down as well. It's a disaster for Apple Valley. Zesty.
Just pour some out for the poor Apple Valley forces. What looked so good. A miracle flash into the pit. Smurf Chum going absolute demon mode, stealing away the dragon, and then SJP just clean up the fight. Man, oh man, it couldn't have gone any worse for the side of Apple Valley through that exchange.
Definitely not.
The dragon plus the fight, that is tough.
Yeah, 3 kills, dragon. That's so much gold and so many stats. That's a fantastic, huge swing for the side of SJP. Dropping up.
Mid tower goes down.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Zesty looking up here. CC doing up the challenger. Ooh. Zesty can land on some damage. Up to challenger. We've seen this before.
He's got
for sure.
Ghost.
And
He should be
Smurf Jump's
good. He's
running
got
in.
speed.
But Beffin is not going to be nearly as lucky. Going to get taken down by DJ EJ once again.
Why is
DJ
he
EJ
playing with them this much? It's just wild.
5
Up
members
to
of
challenger, just hit the
SJP.
base, buddy. Hit the base. Hit the base, buddy. There you go. Like you have 10 HP. Let's think about this for 2 seconds, okay?
Dude,
Teleports up. You want to run at somebody? I know. But, you know, teleports up. You want to run at somebody? How about we hit back to base and then we teleport back and then we run at somebody? I'm just having flashbacks from him getting caught behind enemy lines. Game number 1.
Yeah.
Okay, Warwick's back. I'm going to have to shut this window. He's actually eyeballing me now. That's enough, Mr. Warwick. You head inside.
What's happening?
Window's closed now. We're good.
2v2 here on the top side. Zesty getting low. Gonna send the ult. Dagadas not in the fight here, but actually it's a 2v3. It's a 2v4. Zesty is down. Smurf Jump spent the ult. Force him out there. There's some jungle camps. Up to challenger has been proxying the entire wave. Turret is now gone up there, I believe. So SJP pulling out, honestly, even farther ahead than they did in the first game. Now with a almost 6k gold lead. 15 minutes in and a drag.
Look at this Udyr damage.
Look at us.
My goodness.
Ooh. Barely getting away.
That's no joke. Four-kill lead the way of St. John's Prep, over 6k in gold, and wow.
Oh, the ult landing on a Blitzcranker. He's just gonna die. Calls.
Oh my goodness. I wish we didn't see that. Oh no! For all the highlights that Blitzcranker has had so far, that has been the low light.
Definitely.
The flash hook or the flash play miss into the hook wide right is
Zesty.
Zesty
Flashing out. Where are you going, man? Where are you going?
Zesty play for sure. That was somewhat of a Zesty play, you could say. Maybe a little bit of an inting play. Well, I mean, I think that was his best Blitzcranker impression, if you want me to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Things are getting spooky in the bot lane, and St. John's Prep is reaping the rewards, my friend. 16 minutes, a 7, if not 8k gold lead right now is, I mean, it's not too much yet, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Look at this. Just going to walk out of there like the Giga Chat he is.
Mid tier 2 now, going down as well. Shelly.
They're just losing across the map here, Clay. Every time Apple Valley is running somewhere to try to stop the push, St. John's Prep macro is too quick. They're rotating to the next objective, and they're getting away with it scot-free.
For sure. 3 turrets already. Do that. Dragon spawn in a minute. SJP absolutely looking for that. So, get the spread buff. Zesty taking too much damage. Gonna pick it up. Falls. A little bit of poke there. The ult coming out. And now, St. Sleepy coming in. Smurf Chump's getting real low. He's gonna get taken down, but he's traded back for Zesty right away. Now St. Sleepy free firing onto Blitzcranker. Pauls is here, gonna set up a trap, gonna land the root. Huge root. The ult though, gonna delay it. Can he get the kill? Not quite. Reffin is here though. Reffin that kill onto St. Sleepy. EJ showing up to stop that play in its tracks.
St. Sleepy not giving a care. Running in a 1-on-2. Eats the Caitlyn trap, immediately goes into the ultimate status, and now, hold that thought, is up to challenger trying to run down this poor Shen. And he's a long way from tower, folks, and he's just going to burn in that Phoenix form. Udyr not playing around today. Up to challenger, knows he had a little bit of a underperformance in game number 1, and he's showing up tenfold. Almost perfect CS in this one, along with St. Sleepy. SJP fully activated here in game number 2, Clay.
Did mention how up to challenger loves to have a carry focus, and didn't get that before. Now we're seeing it with Udyr, AP Udyr, demonic embrace already being able to really carry this game so far. But DJ EJ has also been the massive carry for SJP.
Oh, yeah.
Saint Sleepy having a bit quieter game. Of course, DJ EJ 10-1-0. Got the Leandres, got the Shadow Flame. 2 items already. He's just incredibly strong here. And the Vex has some big shields in their kit. Definitely has some survivability as well. So,
like
Apple Valley
yeah,
gonna have a hard time getting through
kind of tricky to deal with.
For sure.
It's a good thought. And yeah, that triple kill in top lane really got this Vex going. 10-1 now. Absolutely dominating through play. Yasuo forced to build a Hex Drinker early as there's a lot of AP damage. It kind of delays his item spikes. Now Amumu diving in and biting off more than he can chew.
On to Beffin. Beffin caught in the middle of them all. Zesty's already down. Beffin, I don't think Yasuo can win that one. Double kill for Saint Sleepy. Up through challengers, running onto Blitzcranker. Blitzcranker cannot crank his way out of this one. Gonna be 3 kills side of SJP. Spent for nothing. And they didn't even take any damage in that. What?
Yeah, this is it's not done, but it's getting close to that margin, right? It's over 10k gold now. St. John's Prep setting their sights up on this dragon and then into a Baron most likely. Udyr running down the Shen, and what can the 4th Shen do but run? And he's getting slowed the whole time because the Phoenix form is just busted. I mean, St. John's Prep fully activated, and now you can see it in the chat. DJ EJ pinging Baron Nashor, spawning in within 5 seconds. St. John's Prep going to be wasting no time trying to put out an early close to this game number 2.
Valley base. Challenge. You don't want to take this 2v3. Beffin ended a big ult. Zanya's challenger is going to keep him alive. A big shield. Beffin and Dagados trying to get the kills. Here, 3v2 for the side of Apple Valley. They can't have the damage, and they don't have the CC.
How did they walk out of that?
Blitzcranker.
It doesn't even make sense.
Can't drop the ball like this, man.
It was a great Zonius from Udyr, a good Monsoon ultimate from the Janna on top of it, but Udyr's sidestepping has been on point. Fancy feet, whatever you want to call it. Up to Challenger is showing up in game number 2 along with the rest of the SJP army. 11k gold lead. And Clay, as soon as they lock this Baron in, we could be eyeing up the closing minutes of this one.
For sure, yeah, definitely going to see some focus on the Baron here. Apple Valley, maybe have to look for a bit of a miracle steal. Gonna have to maybe get some objective bounties going. Focus on that cross map. Focus on a way to find resources without losing resources. But Beffin is gonna just lose his life here to Saint Sleepy, and that's definitely gonna be them going onto the Baron. For sure, for sure. Smurf Chump will have Smite up in just a second, so we'll have it up. Zaya's gonna burn this Baron extremely fast. Apple Valley
on the bottom half of the map too. Yeah, this is gonna be St. John's Prep really showing up in dominant fashion in game number 2. For as close as game number 1 was, they had it in their minds to come out and put on a statement performance in game number 2. And I mean, I think you can credit that across the board, right? Nobody really having a bad game. No weakness on this St. John's Prep side. They caught up to Challenger a lot in that game number 1, so he took it upon himself to really step up here in game number 2. Middle inhibitor goes down, and now St. John's Prep have cracked open the base.
They've cracked open the score 18-7 side of SJP. Like,
that's just
12k gold lead. Beffin stuck in the middle of 3
of them. That's a little bit of a Yasuo play right there. Now a huge Amumu ultimate. Ooh. Shen taunting in.
Damage.
Balls gets one. But Zaya gonna clean up. Vex gonna add to the tally. They are all gonna drop like so. St. John's Prep putting on the closing finishes right here, right now. Quadra kill for St. Sleepy. And boy, oh boy, did St. John's Prep bust out the scary jack-o'-lantern for this 2-0 in game number 2. The pumpkin head wasn't enough, man.
Even on Halloween.
Who's going to be the difference maker? The Nocturne bands too, but that's going to do it. St. John's Prep in a 2-0 fashion. And man, oh man, what a performance in that game number 2. A 15,000 gold lead to close out the show. And I mean, their pockets are looking fit for a king, if I do say so myself. Clay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Apple
great.
Valley looking like the broke surfer over here, just trying to get through life. But SJP putting a big stop to that. DJ EJ absolutely showing up on the spooky Vex Halloween night. SJP put a bit of a scare into Apple Valley for their season's chances.
Yeah, I mean, you know, both these squads coming in with the 2-0 record, both these squads not having lost throughout the preseason as well. So this was Clash of the Titans, right? Game 1, much closer for much longer than game 2. But the second that St. John's Prep got that lead in that early fight in game number 2, it felt like they took the torch and they ran with it for the remainder of the series.
For sure. They just ran away with that second game. Maybe a bit of a mental diff. Apple Valley is getting in there. They're starting to feel them losing it. They just couldn't find a way to get back into it without just losing more. We saw many times they tried to take fights, but SJP had better rotations. They had more members there. They tried to take the fights, but the fights ended up extremely unfair just a few seconds after starting them, as SJP had that better macro play, that better cross map play. The Shen ultimate. How many did we see? Like 2, and only one of them did anything? Bit disappointing there.
Yeah, you know, missing an opportunity for it. Shen Ultimate on a longer cooldown, but it felt like once that Vex triple kill went their way, the rest of the game was in SJP's back pocket, right? Like it really felt like everywhere they were going, they were coming out with the positive plays. That Baron Steel or the Dragon Steel fight in the bottom lane was another huge turning point. Maokai flashing in, stealing away that dragon was absolutely huge. Folks, we are going to take a quick break. We're going to see if we have an interview lined up with one of our St. John's Prep players. Don't go anywhere. Just a little bit more of your spooky Halloween night will be taken up. Interview on the